Hello, I'm Bruce Lorincz, and this show's called Bruce on the Loose. I talk to people in city government, the school system, and the business community. Now we're on location at St. Edward's, here on Route 94 south of the city of Wadsworth. And ladies, thank you very much. Annette Cannone is with us, and Megan Bright. And thank you so much. And what is your official title, Annette?
My title is VillageLIFE Coordinator.
Okay. And what does that comprise?
VillageLIFE is a new program that was designed about a year ago through our foundation and some people like Megan here. And it stands for Learn, Inspire, Faith, and Explore.
Wow, it's really a broad spectrum of things you can talk about. Megan, what is your official title?
I am the Chief Marketing Officer for the Village of St. Edward Communities. And yeah, VillageLIFE was kind of just, as an organization, we're always looking at where are areas that we can improve, and we love our activities teams and resident life teams dearly, and we really wanted to find a way to kind of enhance the already wonderful things that they were doing, because they were doing so much every day, and we knew in order to do that we really needed to find someone with the vision, and luckily for us, we knew Annette had that, and it was just a way for us to really, and I know Annette will talk more, but do things that are a little more challenging, or maybe that take time to plan, or get creative on how to, accomplish something for someone who maybe has some challenges physically, whatever it may be. A way to make some really exciting things happen for our residents.
Very, very well said. Like I said, again, it was a concept. On paper, what does it look like? How are we going to live this new program? I was so blessed to come back from retirement to do this program. Really, it's a dream job. I get paid to make people smile and have fun. What else could you ask for? But we have, this past year, we've done so many things to bring joy to our residents, above and beyond what Megan mentioned, what our resident life team already does. We've had big events, we've had small events. I know I call VillageLIFE, some things are big, some are small. We only wish we could do them all. And that's a little tagline that I came up with, because truly that's how I feel about our VillageLIFE program.
And then what has been your career path to get to this point?
Oh gosh, Bruce. I am a nurse. I've been a nurse pretty much all my life. Have been with the village a couple different times in different positions. I was able to retire from the village a few years back. Retirement is fantastic, but it wasn't completely for me. This is a part-time position. They have given me complete autonomy and freedom to do what I feel residents deserve.
Isn't that refreshing when you don't have any constraints?
It's absolutely, it absolutely is. The sky is the limit. If we're able to do it, we're going to do it.
Annette had said previously, she doesn't want anyone to think, life is ending when you come into a community like ours. For a lot of people, it can really be just the beginning. And I think that's what she's been able to help bring to so many residents, or these experiences that they probably never thought they would get to experience. And it's very exciting.
Right.
Megan, what about your career path? Well, how did you end up in your current position?
I have been with the village for about 8 years, and similar to Annette, Annette actually hired me those 8 years ago. I was director of admissions in our nursing care building, and I've kind of just worked my way up. She retired, and I snuck in behind her.
I forced her.
Annette, how do you get do the residents talk, maybe at dinner or other, how do you get some ideas on what you may pursue as far as the events?
That's a good question, Bruce. I look at the time of the year, one thing. This time of year, of course, we want to curtail the outside activities because of the weather. So what can we do? What can we bring into the village? We just, last month, in every campus, had an art show and an ice wine soiree. And we had a local young man from the high school, Wadsworth High School, that played the cello for us. We had local artists come in. We had a nice big ice sculptor. Our culinary team does an outstanding job. We had food pairings with ice wine, and it was something our residents loved. Talking to residents, what do you want to do? What sounds fun to you? What's something that might be on your bucket list? I know last summer we had the tethered hot air balloon here in Wadsworth, and we have one resident who's 94 years old. She said, I thought I would never, ever get to go up in a hot air balloon, but here I am at age 94, and I'm doing it. So those are the things that are, again, listening to them, listening to families. Families are now catching on about the program, so they're contacting me and say, hey, I would love to do this for my mom, or I would love to do this for my dad. Can we make it happen?
Yeah. Megan, I'm sure the staff also are good listeners, and they sometimes can come up with ideas that that you can start, or, you know, something you did the year before, you might tweak a little bit and improve.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. The staff, in a lot of ways, knows these. They're like family to a lot of our residents, and they know them well, and they've had opportunities to hear about their life and, you know, their stories, because everyone has such a unique personal story. And I think the staff has been helpful to you at times when it comes to getting to know which residents you should talk to next, and it's been great.
And I'm sure the residents, you know, will talk about that activity or that event for some time afterwards. It's something that they never thought that would happen, and it was a lot of planning and effort into it. They probably really got quite a jolt and happy days after that.
It is, and it's, I think for some, again, Annette said that what I love so much about the Village Life program and what Annette's done with it is she takes the smallest wish and that, like, and I'll steal your thunder, like, okay. One resident wanted KFC chicken. So Annette could have very easily just went to KFC, brought back a bucket of chicken, and
Right.
made someone's day. But instead, she also happened to notice that our payroll and benefits coordinator had a resemblance to Colonel Sanders. So
Very strong
she
resemblance.
dressed him up, had Colonel Sanders personally deliver KFC to this resident and their whole family. And it was such a small thing that turned into such a magical experience. And but then at the same time, there's other events like with the Ice Wine Soiree where a lot of time, effort went into those, and kind of a lot of it's trial by error. You know, you have these ideas, you bring it to life. We were lucky with the ice wine. It was such a hit. I'm sure we'll be doing that again next year. So there's some things that I think we'll probably be repeating, and others that maybe it'll be a one-time thing.
Right.
Did the Colonel wear his bow tie, and did he have that
yes.
southern drawl?
He actually, he works in our fiscal department. He's amazing. He actually studied Colonel Sanders and walked like him and talked like him.
Full
That's
commit. You have to respect a full commit.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I was, you know, just in the hallway at WCTV and saw the softball game. Of course, I do a little umpiring in the spring and saw that and was intrigued by who was involved and how did that come about, playing softball?
Oh, gosh. That was actually the brainchild of our resident life director here, Janice. She had connections. She's worked in senior living for a number of years, and she was the brainchild behind that. And we just brought it into fruition, and again, made it a big deal. We had teams, we had shirts, we had a picnic with hot dogs and Cracker Jacks and all those things afterwards. And it was just for the Wadsworth campus, but it was such a hit that we're going to do it again this year, and all 3 campuses are going to be involved.
And where are those other 2 campuses located?
Fairlawn and Green.
Okay, all right. So you do things individually, you can do things maybe 2, or you can involve everyone, all 3.
Right. The soiree that Megan was mentioning that we talked about, we had one at each campus. So it was every Wednesday for 3 days, 3 weeks. We also do multi-campus events. Last year we had a corn roast in our Fairlawn campus. This year we're going to make it even bigger and better. We're adding more to it. We're going to be including families. So that's one of the things. Okay, let's try it in 2023 and see how it works, and how can we make it better in 2024.
Megan, being a former school administrator and teacher, I enjoy talking earlier. The show choir came and performed here. It's really nice to have young people come in and perform, not only on their craft and it makes them better, but also it really rubs off on the residents and they get excited too.
They love when children visit. I mean, they love it. There's no way to get around. It's just one of their favorite things are when kids from all ages, whether it's middle school, high school, or even the little ones in the elementary, preschool, kindergartens, they just love it. It makes everyone's day whenever they come and visit. And that was something that, initially when we went through COVID, which was a challenging time for everyone, but I remember meeting with a group of residents here, and one of the first things that they had said was, oh, we can't wait for the kids to come back in. It really helps brighten their day.
Annette, there's a lot of area activities and places that we go to. I mean, it isn't just, things here. We can go check
Right.
horses out. We can ride horses. We can go
off
ahead
campus as
and
well.
the
Yes.
Polar Express in Akron, the railroad.
Yeah,
I
we've been
mean,
on the train.
You're
We've
very,
been on-
very creative.
Yes, we've been on the Good Time 3, we've
Oh.
been on the Portage Princess, and again, we're taking those things that we did, as for example, the Portage Princess. We took 45 residents and spent an afternoon on the boat. This year, we're gonna make it a picnic in the park, then we're gonna go on the Portage Princess. So things that we're seeing that the residents really, really enjoyed, we're just taking it and making it even better for them this year.
So you're tweaking things, expanding
Yes,
things,
absolutely.
and then they can go ahead and tell, again, their families.
Mm-hmm.
And Megan, it's really important to include the families.
It is, and that's one thing that kind of came out of the corn roast. And obviously, a lot of these events, it takes resources and things like that, the time, effort, planning, assistance from staff. And at the corn roast, we just saw how much the residents loved it. It was such a beautiful day, so many smiles, and we just kind of after that looked at each other and were like, families. We need to get the families here. And then marketing has also kind of partnered with our VillageLIFE team in a lot of ways to, again, be able to add in some additional resources to these events, because prior to this past year, marketing was doing events, and we had VillageLIFE, and myself and Annette absolutely love working together. So we were kind of like, let's combine some of these. So not only are we able to invite families, but even some community prospects.
Right.
We welcome them, come visit the community, party with us, and get to see what life here is really like, because these are things. I think sometimes people see this stuff and they think, oh, that's just for show. No, we really do this stuff all the time. We're constantly looking for ways to just make people smile.
Aiden is going to get a close-up of this calendar, but this is just some of the things that are happening here.
Right.
And yours, Annette, is above and beyond that.
It is. My events really aren't on here.
How important is it to collaborate?
It is extremely important to collaborate. Like I mentioned, Janice, who's our director here, it was her idea about the softball game. Things that I was able, through VillageLIFE, to bring to her. Tap time with the residents, art therapy, massage therapy, different things like that really benefit a lot of our memory care residents here on campus, because we need to I take into consideration too, we have independent living over here that they can do things here or off campus. Assisted living, the same, but when you have memory care, it's a little harder for them to participate in some things. So I have brought animal farms in to see them. And again, the art therapy, the massage therapy, things that they can enjoy here on campus.
Yeah, we had some opportunities to bring in dogs for some of our special needs classes, and the classes just went so well that day because the kids were just so interested in petting the dog, getting to know the dog, and it just makes it just worthwhile for everyone.
Right. We had a traveling farm come in to each campus this past summer.
Wow.
And just to see the residents, especially those in memory care, they hear them, they see them, maybe smell them, but they can touch them. So it really enhances all of their senses. And it was such a joy to see that.
It's really interesting, Megan. Sometimes, like the Christmas season, carol, someone will hear a carol, and then, they've had trouble remembering other things, but they join right in.
Yeah.
They know it. Show choir comes in or another group comes in, and it just enhances their day and makes it so happy for them.
Yeah, music in particular, I think has actually been studied.
Right.
It has.
Really can have profound effects on those that are suffering with dementia and Alzheimer's, and it's definitely something that our day-to-day, resident life teams utilize, but then also we've been able to enhance a little bit through VillageLIFE.
Right.
as well, so.
Annette, what is up your sleeve coming up in '24? Do you have, are you working on, a big event or something that it really is taking time and effort, and you're not sure if it's going to come to full fruition, or?
Bruce, they're all going to come to full fruition.
Okay, all right,
It's
okay, I
just
don't want to
gonna
be
happen.
negative.
There's a way,
Yeah,
there's a way,
okay.
right. We already had the soiree. The next big event we have coming are casino nights in each campus. I did those last fall. Residents loved it. As a matter of fact, they said, hey, can we do another casino night? And I said, yeah, we'll do one next year. And they're like, no, we want one next week.
Right,
So
sure.
we're going to do that again. Again, we've really expanded on the corn roast. I have scheduled a night that we're going to be outdoors with music and a campfire, s'mores, boat rides, more of those.
You mentioned the balloon, of course, Aiden,
we did that last
our
year,
fine
yeah.
videographer, was up in a balloon, and he enjoyed himself. One of the first things that he
Yeah.
was involved in, and he balloons over Wadsworth, and they got him up, and it's really a different view
Oh, absolutely.
from a balloon.
Absolutely. We have the car show we're going to have here on
Oh,
campus.
tell us a little bit about that. And some of these cars were when the people were growing up. I know people,
yeah.
Especially farm kids,
Right.
they didn't wait till they were 16. You're driving tractors and combines and all kind of things ahead of time, and they probably really enjoy seeing some restored cars or
they
some
do.
cars of the
It was
future.
a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. We actually had a car that came in last year. I think it was like the 5 generations that had been passed down through their family.
Oh.
So it was a grandmother with a grandson that was here in their old car. And that was pretty neat to see. But we're going to do that again this year. The Chamber of Commerce, they came and helped as volunteers, which was very nice of them.
That'll be in August.
It'll be in August, August 8th. The rain date is the 15th. We also have, prior to COVID, we had started a Christmas bazaar each year for a multi-campus Christmas bazaar. And of course, during COVID, everything closed down. But we have that again coming up. And that's not till November, but I've already been working on it. So coming into 2024, I already had pretty much my game plan in place.
Megan, it seems like you hired the right person for all these projects because
As much as I'd love to take credit for
right,
hiring her,
it
I
does-
can't take full credit.
They don't, some of these projects, it takes a while. I mean, probably the little details, and I know that from school administration, sometimes the little details trip you up a little bit, and you try to even those out and work on those. But I'm sure the families really appreciate the extra effort.
They do, and that was really where we're looking early on to kind of build this program. It wasn't something that we saw that we could just add to the plates of our resident life directors, because again, like you said,
Look at the calendar, they're
they're
busy.
busy. They have so much going on, and you're right, it takes so much planning and so much detail, and I'm sure Annette can attest to the fact that some of these events probably come together very smoothly. There's other ones where I know she's had to pull in the assistance of our CFO and other people to,
Right.
get through some hurdles in order to make some of these things happen. And I do think the families see it. I'm sure Annette has probably heard and talked to many of the families. I know she had nursing home residents ice skating. That was another big thing that she did, and that's not something I think any of our families probably ever envisioned that their loved one would be ice skating when they moved into the nursing home. But, those are things that I think they can look at and really feel good knowing that as an organization, we just want to do whatever it is to make their day special.
Right, and I think that the goal too, Bruce, was for the families to recognize what they're doing and to reach out. And now they are reaching out to me and saying, hey, I would like to do this for my mom. Can we do this? Absolutely.
There are stereotypes that we have the residents sitting in the chair watching TV. One flew over the cuckoo's nest. You get that impression, but we're kind of breaking that tradition and doing things. We want to be active, and that really helps the mind, the mental aspect, and feeling good about themselves. That's really significant.
It is. It is. We were talking earlier, Bruce. I remember, being a brand new nurse, and back then, nursing facilities had a horrible reputation, and justifiably so. That's not how it is today. and I'm very grateful for that.
No question about it. What about, Megan, volunteers? You mentioned volunteers. If someone viewing the show would be interested in helping out, is there someone they could contact or some way that they could get involved?
Yeah, we actually have our own volunteer coordinator. Her name is Rachel Whitehouse. Anyone could call any of our 3 communities and ask to speak to Rachel, our volunteer coordinator. I don't have her phone number memorized,
sure.
Otherwise I'd tell you, but
Right.
yeah, but Rachel's wonderful and she's helped the organization
Right.
immensely, so.
And she and I share an
off.
office space, so we're constantly collaborating off of each other as well. It's like, okay, we can maybe see if a volunteer wants to help with this, or would people be interested in this aspect of what we're doing, so.
It wouldn't have to be a long-term commitment.
Oh,
I mean,
heavens no.
they could try, the corn roast.
Right.
And if that works out, they could go ahead
Right.
and, maybe look at the balloon or something else. So if they're a
Or
softball
softball.
expert, they could get involved in that and help. Because you probably would always need help with getting the residents to a location and on the bus and
Right,
transportation.
and we always have a resident life team with us as
Okay,
well,
right.
when we do the outings.
Right.
So
Yep.
it's a major community event to get people to places, but it's well worth it.
So how many events would you guesstimate, and you've been on board for a year in this position, how many do you think you did maybe last year?
30?
Yeah, I'd
Oh,
say at
wow.
30, I would
Oh,
say.
I was going to guess like 10.
No,
Oh, no.
There's been a lot that's been done,
Wow,
so.
that's just unbelievable. But not all the residents would involve in those 30.
Correct,
There would be,
correct.
like Colonel Sanders, the
Correct.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, it would be that, and maybe a few friends of that lady that remembered.
Yes, and her family.
Yeah, her family.
And with the Live Your Wish too, those are really involved with a specific resident typically, and their families.
Right, no question about it. But again, the mental aspect, Megan, I would think, again, it's something that, a week would go by and they say, hey, we're going to do that again. I can see people doing that and saying, not knowing all the effort and work that Annette and the staff has done to put that
I
on.
know, and that just makes it look so easy that everyone thinks, yeah, we can do that again next week.
But-
No,
but-
you're right, it is. It takes a lot of effort, but there are definitely certain events, like the casino night that Annette mentioned, where it was kind of like immediately after we took it down, they were like, so we can't bring people in here every week to do this?
And what was funny, Bruce, is hearing the residents at the table saying, this game is rigged.
Oh, boy.
I love that.
Yeah, they're thinking you're in Las Vegas and you're the house, you're winning all
Right.
the
You should
all the
have seen
time.
it. It looked like Las
Right.
Vegas. She really brought Vegas to each community. And
Yeah.
props. There were Elvis
Yes,
was here.
and here's
Yeah.
other
Wow.
staff members getting involved with Elvis costumes.
Right.
Yes, they
Yeah.
dressed up and they were there.
So you really do it to the hilt. You don't.
We
You
try.
have no stone unturned. That's for sure.
And it says
No?
a lot, I think, too, for the organization, the fact that we have so many, everyone as a company is so invested in what we're doing because we all see the benefits of it. It's brought this new life and new level of energy to all 3 of our communities, and everyone sees it. That's why you have staff members that are like, yeah, I'll be Colonel Sanders. Sure, I'll play
Yeah.
Elvis today.
Right.
Because we love it, and we see how happy it makes everyone, not just the residents, but the families. And
Well,
how do you say no?
I like because you're using resources locally. You're using the railroad, you're using, farms with horses, you're using, camping and cooking out, you're using, things that are right here in Northeast
Right,
Ohio.
Right, and in Wadsworth as well, I took a couple different groups on the Grizzly pedal bike.
Oh,
Who
yeah,
would've thought
we
we
did
would
a
do
show.
that?
Aiden and I were there, we did the pedal bike.
And I
yeah.
have some great video of residents singing and just enjoying the bike.
They pedaled by my house, so I got
Well,
one too.
Well,
I took them by Megan's house.
I was
Getting my mail, and I hear residents screaming my name down the street. I'm like, oh, hi.
I would suggest we do a quarterly show with all the activity here at St. Edwards, and I've learned a lot today, no question about it. And Aiden will get some pictures around the area, and thank you for viewing Bruce on the Loose. And ladies, I've learned a great deal, and there's a lot of things that people can look forward to, and you really do a lot of efforts in getting them some happy days, and their families enjoy this as well. Thank you very much
thank you, Bruce.
for all your efforts, and thanks for viewing Bruce on the Loose, and we will see you in shows coming up.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.